Hey guys, it's Will with Rainier Leather Company. I am going to be starting a new project today, a new leather project, not the office. That's kind of where it's going to be for a while. And I wanted to take you through the steps from initial concept to finished product of this guitar strap that I'm making as a gift. If I like the way it turns out, there's a very good chance it'll wind up on the website. That's kind of how I do things. If I really like the outcome and it's repeatable, which most of this is pretty repeatable once you figure it out, then it might go up. So the guitar strap that I'm making is going to be simple, comfortable, and look nice. That's kind of all I care about. I'm not looking to add a bunch of extra stuff. I'm not gonna doll it up too much. I am a huge proponent of nice, clean, simple lines. I think aesthetically that's the most appealing to me, so that's what I do. And when I come up with a new idea or something that I'm gonna do, I spend a little bit of time just sort of tumbling around in my head to dial in what I want it to look like. And then I'm gonna take out a piece of graph paper and I'm gonna draw it out. And that's where I'm at right now. I have my graph paper and my initial design. Now I'm gonna make a prototype out of cheaper leather and make the changes that I want and then go to the final piece. So this may very well change a little bit, but this is what I have. And I have it drawn out. I'm gonna have two of these main pieces and one of these straps right here. I have everything measured out from overall dimensions down to the pinholes to put the button through on the top and the bottom of the guitar, in this case the bottom. I even have the slot measured out for how much, how easy it's gonna be to take that in and out. And there's going to be some stitching in here I already have in my head. I don't need to draw out dotted lines on everything for the stitching, but I have a pretty good idea of where that's going to go. I'm going to be using the pull-up leather in the deep crimson. And this is, I think, going to look really nice with the stamp on it and everything. Probably use copper stamp and light brown stitching, I think, just to kind of accent those couple of things that are different than the main body panel. I'm gonna have foam on the inside so it's a little more comfortable on the shoulder, and that's where we're at now. So I have this drawn out. My next step is gonna be to move from here and go over to the computer and get on Adobe Illustrator to make this in a digital format. When I go to print things off of Adobe, I'm not gonna try to print up a main body panel that's 36 inches long and 2.5 inches wide. There's no point. Those are easy dimensions. And it'd be a nightmare trying to print it on, 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper and tape them together or whatever. The smaller pieces I'll usually do. I may not bother with this, except maybe the very end piece where it loops through, because I want to make sure that that's uniform on both sides of that, on that curve. Trying to freehand that's probably not going to be real pretty. And at that point, we'll move out to the shop and I'll take you through the next step, which may or may not be a few videos in the making. We'll just kind of see how it goes, but right now that's where I'm at. Okay, cool. I went ahead and created the pieces that I needed in Illustrator, and this is what I need. So this right here is going to be the top part of that strap. This piece is going to be the bottom, and this is going to be what the strap loops through. And I'm probably going to change this a little bit, but it got me started. Now, this is something I commonly do for things that I'm going to be cutting out by hand, especially if I'm going to do it over and over. If it is something that I'm going to use a lot, I'll do this. So I've got center holder, what is that? Card holder, center pocket. I'm trying to read this through the paper. Two of them. I have myself a note to flip it for the other side. And then I have my dimensions and then the corner. So 5mm corner. Then other things that I'm going to use kind of when necessary is going to be just something like this. I just have it, I don't have any labels on it because I know all I'm using this for is for edges. So this is, I think, a 20mm rounded edge, something like that. But anyway, having just a piece of paper, it's too flimsy to get a good mark with to be able to index correctly. The edges gets all messed up. So then what I use is just this piece of plastic. I've got a bunch of these. I buy them from Joann Fabrics, and I just get like 10 of them or something. And then what I'll do is use this to make this thicker and stronger so I can use it a bunch. Then I'm just gonna use some Elmer's Craft Bond glue. I typically go somewhere else to do this because this aerosol glue gets everywhere, but I'm just gonna spray it on here. Wait a second for that to get, I got glue on myself. Get tacky for a second. And then I'm just gonna take my pieces and I'm gonna stick them right to it. I kind of cut these out just with no rhyme or reason, just to have a smaller piece to work with so I can use more of this. And I just kind of stick it down. Once I have these stuck down, I'll cut them out and then we'll move on to the next piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over, put some music on, and show you guys a little time lapse of me doing this. So here we go. Okay, I've got these pieces cut out. We'll use these in a minute. I went ahead and paused it, rolled out some paper, taped it down, and traced out or measured out my first main body panel. I was talking while I was doing it, but honestly, it's kind of boring. So I'm gonna go ahead and just restart here and probably just time lapse again of me measuring stuff out, getting things where I want them. That's where this is going to come into play. These pieces we just cut out, we're going to use that template we've already drawn out, get my edges where I want them, and then we'll move forward from there. That is the initial layout. This is where I'm going to stop for today. The next video, I'll transfer this over to leather. We'll get it all cut out and we'll put our prototype together and we'll see what needs to change, what we like about it. And after that, we'll do the real thing. We'll put it to the nice leather and we'll have a finished piece. So I appreciate you hanging out. If you guys have any questions about any of this, leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to answer anything you're curious about, and I'll see you next time.